Welcome to Coffee with Danny and V. I'm Danny.
I'm V.
And today we are talking about nutrition and nutrition tips and tricks from V and I. Things that have worked for us to kind of stay on track nutrition-wise and do our best to eat healthy.
Yeah, which is always a struggle, no matter how many tips and tricks you have.
Yes, it is.
But the more you can arm yourself with knowledge, the better off you will be. And so we want to share what we've learned, especially what Danielle has learned as a certified nutritionist with you to give you just a little bit more plates in your armor when it comes to making sure that you eat really, really well. So you want to kick us off? Most of this stuff is from her. I'm like, take it away.
She's got a couple in here, don't worry. All right, so I'm going to start with, of course, all of my things are food-based. And I would say that I think one of the things that gets us off track the most is convenience.
Yep, guilty. Absolutely.
We are in a convenient society. We need everything to be convenient. We're busy women. We need things that are convenient, but most of the things that are convenient out there are not nutritious. And they really derail our nutrition efforts a lot. So I have really focused a lot of my items on keeping things convenient also with your nutrition. So we're going to start off with this one. And I'm starting off with this. These are like single serving brown and wild rice.
That looks
packets.
delicious.
And so this is one of those things that really helped me when I started eating healthy. Rice takes a long time to cook. Brown rice takes longer than white rice, right? So we're switching with no more white rice. Do not buy the white rice version. We are buying brown rice, wild rice, quinoa, those kinds of things. These are great fibers. And really, this is the type of carb base that you should be including into your nutrition plan. So these are great because they go right into the microwave. They have great flavor and they're minimal. Yes, there's a little bit of oil in it and they have the sea salt already added in, but it is so easy and so quick. So you're going to add a little oil to your rice after you're done cooking. You're going to add some salt for flavor. This already has it done. You literally pop it in the microwave. You have a single serving. It is such a time saver. Throw one of these in your lunchbox, heat it up at work with a little bit of a chicken skewer or whatever, and some vegetables, and you're on the right track. So I think a lot of times too, carbs is really where we mess up the most, because the carbs that are available as convenience is not the right kinds of carbs. It's white breads, it's buns on hamburgers, it's, all the stuff that we shouldn't be doing. So this is my number one, because to me, this is really kind of like the base of your meal. So the next one I'm going to show you real quick to go with this, and you've got a meal, is a pre-packaged, this is lentils. So it's already done in a sauce. They're organic, literally minimal ingredients on this. Nothing real bad for you, right? To keep you on track. So literally all you have to do is heat one of these up, heat this up, put it on top. You've got lunch, you've got dinner if you need a quick dinner. I've done that so many times for my kids. We're heading out to soccer practice, whatever it is, and we need something quick. Oh, darn, I didn't get enough time to make that big crock pot meal or the big meal that I planned. I need something. So we're not stopping and buying a hamburger on the way. And that is a really quick one. And my kids love those.
I love lentils too. In fact, Trader Joe's has them like fresh in.
You were telling I haven't done.
I was going to bring them in, but then I was like, I don't know. I feel hold up under the studio lights anyway. But they have them and they're fresh. You buy them where you find the like the produce. Yeah. And I just like portion those out into reusable Ziplocs, and they're fantastic. I love lentils. Like, it's my go-to.
Well, and lentils are very high in fiber also. And actually a great source of protein. So, yeah. All right. So next thing to add to that, I'm going to go with these large items here in the back, and I have two of them. And this is, again, convenience. These are steamable in the frozen section vegetables. And so this is a great one because it is like a rice substitute. So it's a cauliflower and sweet potato rice substitute.
That looks really good.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I would say, I'm not big on eliminating carbs, but you can reduce carbs. If you feel that carbs are bloating you, that kind of thing, you're getting great fiber out of your vegetables, or you're getting great fiber out of your, brown rice and stuff like that. But if you feel like too many rices and quinoas and stuff like that are too much, this is a great alternative, and it's easy and convenient, and you can literally steam it in this bag. You pop it in the microwave, you steam it in this bag, and I love that no sauce and seasonings. So for me, that's a big one on your frozen vegetables, and you can find them. Here's 2 great examples that you can find that are steamable in the microwave, portioned out for you, and it's not doused in a ton of sauce, which a lot of the frozen ones are. So.
And they have sugar.
Added.
Yep.
Most of those sauces have sugar added to them. So try to find ones with no sauces, but you can find them. They're really easy to find. You just have to look.
Yeah.
But this is great. So there's your meal: brown rice, lentils, and you've got some vegetables on the side. So
you know what I really love about this is this has no dishes. I'm the worst. Like, I would make the world's worst prep cook, because prep is like the worst thing, right?
Yeah.
And so when I see something like that, I'm like, oh yeah, that's right up my alley, because I don't have to worry about it. So for me though, I'll pop this in the microwave, no big deal.
Yeah.
But then inevitably, so I have been on a really major weight loss journey. I have lost about 60 pounds now from my very heaviest point. So I still have a way to go, and my doctor's like, you still have a way to go, right? But my LDL was really, really bad for a while there. And so what's great about this is I can pop it in. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to prep it. But then the whole thing goes on my plate, right? Because I don't want to waste it or whatever. And so I have found this really fantastic hack for making sure I only eat the serving size. So usually on these things, you see the serving size is half a cup or 1 cup or 2/3 of a cup or whatever. Yeah. And so this is my little trick. I use a ramekin that is exactly 1 cup, right?
Oh, nice.
If you take like, flour or rice or whatever in a measuring cup, 1 cup, and put it into whatever you have, you can determine what size it is. And I like this because it's exactly 1 cup. So I know that I'm eating exactly X amount of calories, whatever it is, because that's what, my doctor has me limiting my caloric intake to, and don't get shocked and do not take this number as your number, but my caloric intake is only supposed to be 1,200 calories a day based on my age, the weight I need to lose yet, and a number of factors, right? But this really keeps me on track so that I know what I'm eating. I log it all.
Yes. Yes.
Because my doctor wants to see it, and I do it. And this is how I get there. Yeah. A large part of how I get there.
Yeah,
so
that's great. And so a great thing with that too, I know you mentioned like testing it essentially with like flour. You can do it with water. I've done this before.
Yeah.
Fill your measuring cup with water, pour the water in the other dish to see what works. But it's also great for learning serving sizes.
Yes.
We do have a really big problem, especially in America, that we overportion everything. Yeah. So going out to eat, it's severely overportioned. And yes, portion this out, save the rest in a bag, and heat it up again, the next day. It doesn't have to.
You know what? I've just realized you don't have to take this to the restaurant. There are collapsible like silicone bowls that you can buy on like Amazon or wherever.
Cups,
yeah. And you can take those to the restaurant, measure out what you want to eat. And can I just say how glad I am that restaurants put their caloric intake on their dishes now. They didn't used to. Oh, it's been a real eye-opener.
It's very eye-opening. Very eye-opening. And I would say, even from a nutrition standpoint, if you were to eat all of this by itself, that's not a bad thing.
Right.
Now with becomes a bad thing is whatever you put into it. So your butters, your salts, your, that's where those calories really end up creeping in. But it's portions is really, it is important, especially as we age. Our caloric needs actually decrease as we get older. And so eating the same that you did when you were 30s and into your 40s and 50s is actually not the right thing, because you do need to pay attention and start paying attention to lowering your caloric intake, but paying attention to your caloric intake, because you would be surprised at how many calories you're probably consuming.
Yeah. Well, when I started the caloric intake diet, right, I was shocked. Shocked at how many calories I consumed and didn't even realize. So what this is really good for is I love to have a bowl of cereal because I hate to cook. But it's so easy to fill your bowl, which winds up being 2 or 3 cups worth of stuff.
Yes.
And not even realizing that you're eating 3 times the amount of the serving size. So
one of the other things that's really bad about that on serving sizes is paying attention to your coffee creamer. Oh yeah. All of your caloric intake, it's on a tablespoon or maybe 2 tablespoons.
Which is like,
it's not
nothing.
A lot. It's not a lot. And we're just like, hey.
All right, what other goodies do you have?
All right,
here?
So the next thing I'm going to go for is a couple of nut options. And nuts are really important. They are great for omegas. Walnuts have some great omegas. They are great for just so many different things, but definitely include nuts if you can, if you're not allergic, in your diet. And here's the thing though, you need to go for unroasted and unsalted.
Yeah.
So get yourself used to, and you know what, just go cold turkey on this, because your body, your brain is always going to want, if you're teasing it with salted and roasted, that's what it's going to want. You have to retrain your body, your brain, your microbiome. And so I loved that I found these, and they're 100-calorie packs. So, and they're unsalted. So you literally have walnuts and almonds in here for 100 calories, and they're unsalted. Now, if you fit 200 calories into your caloric intake, eat 2 of them. But it's also great. You can open one of these and sprinkle it on your oatmeal or whatever.
Your salad.
And you've got 100 calories. So again, it's portioned out, right? And they're unsalted. So that's really important. So the next one is peanut butter. I love peanut butter. I love peanut butter. I love peanut butter on bananas. I love peanut butter on apples. I love peanut butter in honey sandwiches. I love peanut butter. So my first baby step with peanut butter was finding one that was not as processed, but still had the same consistency, because there's a lot of natural peanut butters out there, and it separates, and you have the oil separation.
And you gotta stir it.
You gotta stir it. I actually hate stirring them. I soak the oil out of it because I think it makes it too runny, and I don't want to disperse the oil back into it. But I prefer like a true, like I grew up on creamy peanut butter, right? It's a texture thing, probably. It's a nostalgia thing, whatever. And both Skippy and Jif have a natural. It still has some sugar in it, but it's a lot less sugar than their normal one. And it still has a little bit of palm oil. I know there's a lot of controversy out there about palm oil. Palm oil is the one oil that makes peanut butter this consistency and not what you get with the oil separation. So it's going to be hard to avoid palm oil if you like this consistency. The other thing I love about this is they're individual little packs. So I literally take one of these. It's portioned out, because peanut butter is one of those things I will overeat. I have a huge jar of this. I do it all the time.
Just take a spoon.
A big old spoon of it to eat with my apple.
I just eat it out of the jar.
I used to do that as a kid. But this portion's
I was
for
a
me.
kid when I did that.
Sure. Not now.
I would never.
But this portions it for you so that you're only having the 2 tablespoons. And it actually forces me to take less with every bite of my apple, and actually have the right portion of peanut butter. So I love these for that reason. and that's probably too because I have a sweet tooth. Is why I love peanut butter, like apples and peanut butter, bananas and peanut butter, that kind of thing. But it's also, you're adding that great protein in with the fiber, with your, with your fruit. So it's actually a really good complementary nutritional value type snack. So yes.
And it tastes good.
And it tastes good.
Tastes Who are we kidding?
Yes. So on the other snack side of things, real quick, I have this, and this is Skinny Pop. Which I like because they do pay attention to calories. So they're gonna have less butter, oils, that kind of things, sugar, like your kettle corns and stuff. It's gonna have less of that because they are paying attention to caloric intake. And that's why I like the Skinny Pop brand. And they go non-GMO. Of course, corn is gluten-free. Now, again, there's a lot of corn sensitivities out there. I'm experimenting with that right now. I am doing our elimination diet, so I'm testing that theory right now. So I can't have popcorn. It's one of my things that I love, but it's also great in fiber. It's a nice light snack that's great in fiber. And we talk about fiber all the time and how important it is, not only for your probiotics in general, to feed your probiotics, but to feed your microbiome, period. You need good fiber intake. So this is a great one, and I love that they do these little bags in here, and I just think they have a good popcorn product. So that's my next snack.
None of this is sponsored.
No,
FYI,
it isn't.
Just so you know,
it isn't. These are just things that and brands that I've learned to come to acknowledge through my years of. I have read every label, ingredient panel in your grocery store. I kid you not. In the last 10 years, I have literally read every ingredient panel. I have learned which ones, and it was a journey. I mean, even with, let's say, ketchup, go for they have these now simple ingredient ketchups or no sugar added ketchups. That's really what you want to be going for. And those are your baby steps. All of this is like your baby steps with nutrition to stay on track and little tips and tricks. So, all right. So I got 3 more things.
Okay.
But do you want to talk about this?
Yeah, absolutely. Because it kind of feels like somebody just left a bottle of water on the table, but I promise you it's there for a reason.
It is.
So this bottle is 50 fluid ounces. And I need, because of my age, my weight loss goals, my activity level, and my environment, right? I live in a very hot, dry climate. I need to get about 100 ounces of water every day. And I found this out by using a calculator online. You can find all kinds of water calculators out there to tell you how much water you need to actually take in. Everybody thinks it's 64 ounces, and that's true.
It's a good baseline.
It's a good baseline. But I need about 100. And so I use this. And you can buy fancy water bottles and everything, but I just found this at Trader Joe's. I love Trader Joe's. But I just found this at Trader Joe's, and I've had this same one for a really long time.
Longer than we're going to admit.
I'm embarrassed to say how long, but I just fill it up twice a day. And here's the thing. I know if I get through 2 of them, I've hit my water goal. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to keep a water checklist, which I did for a long time until I discovered this little hack. And what I also love about this is sometimes my husband makes me coffee in the morning, and God love him, because I love coffee and I love him. And when he brings me coffee, I'm overjoyed. But he doesn't put the collagen in it, the goddess glow that we have. And I love that stuff, and I can always tell if it wasn't in my coffee, right? And I love it so much. So I will add it to this when I get to work, just shake it up in the bottle, and then I get my collagen, right? Now a funnel, pro tip. Funnel helps when you have a tiny opening like this. But if you don't have a funnel, and I don't at work, and I should bring one in, but I don't at work, so I just fold up a piece of paper and
make a
pop in the goddess glow, and I'm good to go. And that you can do that with anything, right? If you have like a what do they call those Lipton iced tea thingies that you add
or
to
like
water,
electrolyte add-ins, stuff like that you put into water.
If you're trying to get some sort of supplement in that is added to water, this is such an easy way to do it. And you make sure that you get the proper amount of water that you need every day. It's super easy. I don't have to think about it anymore. It's just on autopilot, 2 of these a day.
I think what I love about this chip too is you're focusing on either 1 or 2 servings of the container that, you know, size or liquid amount that you need. Because when you start getting into 3s and 4s, you know, I got to drink 3 of this water bottle or 4, then a lot of times you lose track.
Or the task can feel overwhelming because there's too many, too many steps.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I love that you can get it in 2 of those, and you found the right ounces to fit your water needs.
I'm never throwing this bottle.
All right, so one more thing on our protein list, and this one is great for salads. And again, this is baby steps into nutrition. There's a lot, again, there's so much, you know, around the foods that we eat and things that are kind of coming into play, but mercury is a big one on tuna. But tuna is a great place to start if you don't like fish. It honestly is. And these flavored tunas are a great place to mask a fish flavor, so you start enjoying them, and you're getting the protein out of them. And this is so convenient, and they're nice and flavorful. They're minimal ingredients, and I can literally just eat this out of the thing. So if I need just a good protein, these are great on salads. These are great on a nice whole grain sprouted Ezekiel bread. I'm not going to tell you any other kind of bread meat. It's just a really easy, convenient way to get a nice a protein in without being in levels 3, 4, and 5 of nutrition. And we'll go into those, I'm sure, in some other videos. So my next 2 things are on the sweet tooth side of things. And one to play into your liquids is going to be this one. And this is a tea. And any tea, honestly. But this is what I love about this particular tea is this sweet and spicy. It's caffeine free. So I'm a big thing of tea at night. So when
and sweet at night.
And
I
sweet
always
at
want
night.
something sweet at like 7 o'clock.
Yep. So my go-to, my tip for that is tea. And this one is great because it has this sweet and kind of spicy, like flavor, like a cinnamony spice flavor. And it literally, I can drink it with no added sweeteners. I can drink it with no added creams. Just the tea by itself, and it's caffeine free, so I can have it at 7 o'clock at night. And this is a great way to just cut that sweet tooth that I'm having in the evening. I love this. This stuff is really good. My next one for sweet tooth, and again, this is baby steps, and it's convenience, and it's about staying on track. So yes, Jell-O. It is sugar-free. Now it does have some sweeteners in it, but it's sugar-free. So we're training our bodies to get away from sugar. I do not believe in aspartame, but this was an amazing thing for me on my nutrition journey to get me out of I need something sweet and I'm going to eat, you know, the things that are bad for me. And here's the other thing that I love about this is make this, use a little bit of it, and add in fresh berries. So you can add the berries in while it sets, like into the Jell-O, like they used to have those Jell-O molds
in the
stuff.
50s.
Yeah. Or just put it on top. And then the other thing I would do too is they have some great almond dairy or whipped cream topping now, or there's some great coconut whip ones. Put a little bit of that on top, and now you have an okay dessert that's sugar-free. And so you're able to kind of satisfy the sweet tooth without diving into the sugar. You're training your body a little bit differently. So just another easy way to move into and avoid that sugar?
So I actually have a couple sweet tooth things.
Oh, okay.
Because I have a sweet tooth, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when I first started my weight loss journey, I can't stand Jell-O.
Yeah.
I've never liked Jell-O. It's something, I don't know, it's just
texture.
Yes, I can't do it. I can't do it. It reminds me of Spam, which I also can't do. Anyway, but the sugar-free pudding, or the low sugar pudding, because it was chocolate flavored and it still like satisfied that little bit of my psyche that was like, no, you have to have chocolate. You have to have something sweet, right? And also sugar-free pudding pops.
Oh yeah,
I love those things because they take a longer time to eat, because they're frozen and all, right? And it just was like my gateway into getting sugar out of my life. Yeah,
the no sugar added fudgesicles.
I love that.
Yes, that's a great like transition kind of thing. So again, it's a healthier trade-off from eating the high caloric, just ice cream, all the sweets out there. And that's kind of what you're looking at. The other thing is it's very low in calories. Pudding will have a little more because it's made with milk base, but that's very low in calories too. So it's just a great stepping stone option. And again, these are tips and tricks for you to stay on track with your health. And really being able to, the more you pay attention to this stuff, the more you realize, the easier it becomes to become nutrition level 2. And then level 3, you just it gradually starts creeping on you the more you start paying attention to all these things. So.
And serving size, I feel like, is so important. And what I'm noticing about all of the things that you put in front of us today is that the serving size is already portioned out for you largely. And that, I think, if we can offer nothing else today, start paying attention to serving sizes and the amounts of calories and sugar that are in those serving sizes, because that's where I started 60 pounds ago, and it was an eye-opener.
Yeah. Our nutrition guide gives some great guides too on portioning things out, and some great tips and tricks about how to use your hand as like the sizing for your portions, which is also great for going out to restaurants. So you don't feel like you're having to bring something with you and you're like, oh, I gotta measure this out. But you can start paying attention to portion sizes proportionally based on like the size of your hand and different things. So the nutrition guide gives some great tips for that too.
And we can leave the link down below wherever you're seeing this.
Well, yay, I'm so excited. This is one of those ones that I really wanted to give to people, because I think that we get off track so easy, and it's so easy to get off track on our nutrition journey. And so this really offers some easy ways to stay on track, portion sizing, calorically, and making better choices with the options that are out there in front of us. So,
and I'm super excited to try some of the things on the table, because Danielle always tells me something new and fun when it comes to nutrition. Well, and other things too, but that's another video for another day. We'll see you next time, everybody. Bye-bye.